This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Listen in the morning, listen in the evening, listen at supper time. When pizza's on our podcast, you can listen to Baconsale anytime.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I needed right now to wake me up for this show.
Boom at the beginning.
And
here.
again, there we are.
Hey guys, I don't know what that was.
What?
Nope. What was it?
Pizza's in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time.
Is it like a commercial?
When pizza's on a
Has
bagel,
your generation
you can
seen
get
a
pizza
commercial outside of
anytime.
Hulu?
So those are those things that come on before YouTube videos,
My kids,
right?
Yeah,
my
exactly.
kids want to watch commercials, and I'm like, what kind of world do we live in? Like, I'll fast forward. They're like, "Aw,
Really?
Yeah,
Go
and I'm
find
like-
some of your old VHS tapes.
I did."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, on YouTube they have like compilations. Welcome to Baconsale, by the way. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Zack.
And we'd like to thank you for listening to our last show, the finals of our 2000s one-hit wonder bracket.
Yes, a milk toast winner prevailed, but that's okay.
But that's the thing is most
it
people
really
are kind of
should've.
okay with it. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I guess that's fine enough choice. Well, let's see. On Instagram, Kaylee Winterton says, these album covers are my new favorites. They were very nice. Check
Episode
those
art.
out if you haven't. The 2000s were pretty much all of my growing up years, so the nostalgia from these episodes is so fun. And that's what I found interesting about these episodes. You have like sort of a split. Some people are like, oh man, I totally remember these songs. And then like my mom texted me and was like, I know 4 of these, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
it
like
was interesting.
It's like when our kids are doing Baconsale down the road. When we pass this on to the next generation, and they'll be doing a 2010s one-hit wonder, and people will be like, "I don't know any."
Some
of these
people were like, did you know the 2010s were even worse for music? And I'm like, oh no.
No, they're
We're
not.
eventually going to have to do that.
They're not.
Let's go backwards first.
I think there are some good choices.
For one hit wonders?
I think so. I've been compiling. I'm ready.
It's too soon.
Okay, take it
it's like,
easy.
you guys remember when they did "I Love the '80s" and it was so? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I
And
love
it was
those.
like so fun to watch. And they did "I Love the '90s" and everyone's kind of like,
And then they did I Love the 2000s.
It was like, that was a year ago.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
Like in 2009, they did I Love
I
the 2000s.
think we got sidetracked again, didn't we?
No,
Yes, we did.
We also have on Twitter, Jeff P. Skywalker at RIP Bert Convey says, how to bust a bracket in 3 easy steps. 1, create a one-hit wonder bracket. 2, knock out all the best one-hit wonders in round 1. 3, deploy the one-hit wonder police in round 2 and knock out all the remaining good
Son
songs.
of the police.
Yeah,
Teaser aside, he said he is supportive of the winner, though.
yeah." And that's kind of how I felt. No one seemed super upset about the winner we chose.
It's just a very Utah choice.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
came
Because
on
it was
so
American
much.
Idol. Come on.
Yeah, but
That's
it
not
feels
just a
very Utah.
choice.
I don't even know it from there.
Yeah.
And then finally on Facebook, Valerie Loveless Ilgu says, I'm happy with the winner. Hearing that song immediately takes me back to the early 2000s, but wow, there were some interesting choices along the way.
Yes, they were not so family friendly, but we still sang them.
Yeah,
Better
thank
than the
you.
Laffy Taffy.
We love getting your feedback on all our shows. We like hearing from this. Why we do this is so we can hear from you. So let us know
Precisely.
on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Your comment may just be read on the air. Is that the announcement horn?
Announcement horn. We have an event coming up, and it's a little bit stranger, generally around this time of
Yeah,
year.
super spreader event.
This is a virtual event, Joel, not a super spreader
that's right.
event. And it is a Zoom call for our patrons. This is a patron event for each of our tiers. Tier 3, 2, 1, listener and Bacon Council.
So if you are a patron, what we're going to do is we are going to have a little virtual get-together with you where you can talk to us and we can talk to you. We may play a game or two.
Right.
We may just be stupid.
That's Bacon Sale.
Bacon Sale.
But it'll be
Yeah.
a half hour at a time, and we are setting it right now. Save the date for December 8th. We're thinking about starting at 7:30, and we will do it in segments, so more information will come.
Can you go to Patreon and see who else is in a category so you can like hang out with your buddies?
I don't know.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know if you can.
Like, oh my gosh, I just found out my best friend was in tier 1.
Everyone's best buddies are in the Bacon Council right now, so go join that.
Honestly, the Bacon Council are some of my best buddies, so I get it.
So yeah, we have 5 different tiers of patronage starting at only $3, and we're just going to we wanted to get together with you guys, but since it's not really feasible or responsible to get together in person right now, we're going to do a virtual one in December. So more details are actually, we just did a Bacon Bit, which you can listen to at $3 a month if you're a patron.
It was just a short one, though.
Are they ever short anymore?
No.
But little extra episodes that you get as patrons. And so we also have that where we give a little more details, and we will be giving more details there. But that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today, Zach?
We are talking about the consumption of frozen pizzas.
It's another food challenge, everyone.
We are. It's November. It's a food month. This month is dedicated to food.
Yeah, but like really good food.
We had a whole show about ketchup last time.
You're saying that this
did.
isn't good? It's frozen pizzas, man.
Yeah, pizza is good. Frozen makes it bad.
Zach, 13% of the United States population consumes pizza on any given day. 13%. Any given day, people are eating pizza.
It's true. And we've done a pizza show.
We have done a pizza show where we did kind of
Pizza chains.
Yeah. We ranked that back. What episode was that? I usually have that offhand, but I totally forgot.
Shame on you.
You talk, Ken. I'll find out.
But now we're doing frozen pizza, and Americans spend $4.4 billion on frozen pizza each year. Globally, $16 billion of frozen pizza is sold.
That was episode 61, Ranking Pizza Chains. Better ingredients, better podcast.
Way back when.
Yeah, that was like back in, June 2016.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, lots changed.
We have taken a different direction on this food challenge compared to others because, well, look, you can't really go to places and sit down and eat, and this challenge doesn't really enable that anyways. The three of us have met together before every recording.
Since August.
We watched Tenet and Bill and Ted that night, right?
Yeah, we did. We had
It was a party, and we started eating 3 frozen pizzas every week.
Time
that
out.
we recorded.
We did not eat 3 frozen pizzas. We baked 3 frozen pizzas, and then we had a slice of each
individually
one. Or you generally
consumed
2
3
slices on each
frozen
one.
pizzas.
I only went back to one. I went back to the winner usually each night. That's the one I did where I was like, I'll go back to you.
Because we'd be eating these, and this is podcast magic, but about 10 o'clock once a week every night.
So we had to preheat the oven. We had to figure out if Kent had any utensils at his place.
It's so true.
The first time.
Okay. Is this a story now?
Yeah, story time. The first time we did this, we did it at Kent's place, and he hasn't been there very long.
I've been there a while, Joel. Don't try to...
I'm trying to help you save face here, man.
Like a year.
It's a very clean apartment. We'll say that.
And we're like, okay, well, let's go ahead and bake the pizzas at your place. Kent's like, great. We get there. We're like, hey, do you have a pizza pan? He's like, I have a towel. And I have a spoon.
Okay.
And there might be a half broken thing of aluminum foil.
Like, what are we going to cut this with? And he's like, I got some scissors.
I had knives.
No, but it was like you had no pan. We put it on tin foil. We had no pizza
frozen
cutter.
pizzas are supposed to go right on the center
the
rack
next time-
anyways. Everyone knows
But then
this.
getting them out, what did we do? We didn't have plates.
Then you get your forks.
Yeah.
You pull them out.
Do you have cups? He's like, I have a sponge. We'll just squeeze it into your mouth. So the next time we went there, we're like, here, Kent, we got you a pizza cutter. And did we get him a pan as well, or was it just
I think
a cutter?
we guilted him into getting a
I
pan.
went to Target and I bought stuff.
Yeah, because he was a little ashamed of the fact that we got there and we're like, you're not cooking pizza here, man.
But yes, we had most of 3 pizzas every time we did this challenge. And this has been going for the past couple months. And thankfully, the challenge is over because we'd eat the pizza and then we'd record a show maybe about a half hour later. And it's kind of like swimming. You really shouldn't record 30 minutes after eating oily food. Because you probably heard it in the background unless, in the October shows, I played music to cover up this. The whole time, and we'd stop the show and be
Elliot.
like, sorry, guys, pizza's happening.
Pizza's happening.
And that was the sign. It's like, yeah, I get it. Me too.
Yeah. Well, it was just funny, too, because Kent's mom would sometimes join us.
About to say.
She actually she came in one time and then we're like, keep coming back. We keep loving your
we need
feedback.
another person who's going to eat this pizza.
She would legit come on this show and talk about her favorite pizza experiences if I asked her to.
And then she even brought the last week, she brought one of her own, but we aren't even ranking tonight. But she's like, try this. Because what we did was we had 25 frozen pizzas. Pepperoni. We went with the control of pepperoni. So every one of these is a pepperoni pizza. So if they didn't have a pepperoni pizza offering, we didn't include them. But we went through. I'm going to read them in alphabetical order now.
We even had a bonus, so we had the 26th.
We did.
But we're not including on the list.
So we had Against the Grain Gourmet, Archer Farms, California Pizza Kitchen, Call It Power, Crav'n Flavor, DiGiorno, Freshetta, Great Value, Jack's, Ling Cuisine, Life Cuisine. Those are 2 different ones.
Yeah.
Market Pantry, Newman's Own, Palermo's, Quest, Real Good Pizza Co., Red Baron, Sam's Choice, Tombstone, Tony's, Totino's, Trader Joe's, Udi's, Whole Foods, and Wild Mike's Ultimate Pizza.
I feel sick.
That's 25 pizzas.
We consumed all of that.
Did you mention that we tried to stay in the realm of pepperoni pizza?
Yes, that is our control. That's what we did. So we did pepperoni pizza.
And there were deviations here because sometimes there were thin crust, sometimes it was regular or rising crust.
We went with the most popular choice of what they had to offer most times.
Right. And it was just straight pepperoni. Sometimes there were gluten-free pizzas. Sometimes there were cauliflower crust pizzas.
Sometimes they threw tomatoes on top of the pizza.
Yeah, there was tomatoes. Some of them were very heavily seasoned, and some of them had no seasoning.
But Kent, you brought this up that really, you can't really go out to places right now. In March of 2020, Americans bought $275 million worth of frozen pizzas, which was a 92% increase over the same period a year earlier.
My word.
Wow.
People were stocking up on these frozen pizzas.
Got to get frozen pizzas and toilet paper.
It's so true.
Well, you need the toilet paper if you get the frozen pizzas.
So you brought up these 25 pizzas, and if you've listened to our fry challenge,
Yes.
yeah, and we also did for chicken nuggets as well. What we do is we have this grid. It's a scoring system. Like, this is science, and we've said this before.
It's
Like,
proprietary information.
right, we're not falling back on just, I think at the time I really like this one. We put in actual numbers, and we each ranked these 25 pizzas based on these categories.
Separately from each other.
Yes.
With minimal interaction. I mean, we couldn't hide our faces when we bit into a pizza and we're like, oh, that's bad.
Or
We
if we
also-
couldn't eat 2 bites.
Yeah.
We also knew that this was a long con of a challenge. So we were having conversations while we were eating going, we're going to forget this.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we took notes each time.
So these are the categories ranked most important to least important as far as scoring. And like I said, this is mathematics and science, something we should not do on the show. Feels a little dangerous, but let's go for it. So the number one thing we scored on was overall taste and texture. This should be very important.
30%
to
of the
frozen
ranking
pizzas.
was overall taste and texture, yes.
Granted, sometimes the cheese was a little weird, like it looked weird or was a little too burned, but it still tasted
Well,
good.
That's the thing about
crust
pizza.
as well,
Like
yeah.
pizza as an overall experience, you can nitpick every single chunk, but
Which we did.
Sometimes it really does just mesh together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that was the top score. Then we get into crust.
Yeah.
Which we literally would try to take a bite of just the crust or peel off the toppings and eat just the crust to see if there's anything worth writing home about.
Yeah, sometimes it actually had taste. Sometimes it was literally just bread or styrofoam based.
Or cauliflower.
Also, the
cauliflower.
nice thing about eating them together is if we accidentally burned one, we all tasted it.
Right.
Yes, that's true.
Actually, we did pretty well at not burning these, right?
There was one.
Yeah, there was one, but I feel like that was already a
That
frisbee.
wasn't our fault.
Yeah. And then we have sauce.
Of course.
Like a level of sauce, if it was too tomatoey or sweet or
I'm
whatnot.
Definitely, I am, like, when it comes to pizza, I'm definitely a sauce guy. Like, I like...
You like
are-
more sauce.
I like
You are
more
a saucy
sauce.
guy. I get it.
Thank you. Because, like, I'm like, yeah, toppings are good and I enjoy them, but, like, if the sauce is weak,
Right.
it's not as good to me.
I totally agree, because if you have too many pepperoni and less sauce, it just tastes kind of oily.
Yeah.
Right? Or like a Slim Jim, as sometimes we experienced.
Yes.
Because the next one is cheese and toppings. So I just called this like the overall spread. And yes, this did help the presentation.
Yes.
And you noticed if you only got like 6 pepperonis that were all backed
Slid over
into
to
a
the
corner.
side.
Yeah, exactly.
Frozen pizzas do that.
Yeah, and you had to like put them on by yourself. And sometimes they were pepperonis spreading all over the pizza, which I gave extra points to. And the last one, because this is frozen pizza, and generally, you know, we all like to save a little bit of money eating frozen food. We went for price and value.
Well, for the most part, when you're getting a frozen pizza, you're expecting to pay less than you would a pizzeria pizza type pizza, like a fresh pizza, or even like
Right.
even the fast food chains. You expect to pay less when you do frozen pizza because you're sacrificing a little bit of quality for convenience. Is that the word?
Yeah, that's. I think so.
But at the same time, you know, you get $5 from Little Caesars versus $5 on one of these pizzas.
And I think that's the problem is you can go to a chain and there are always discounts and you can get a pizza that is fresh for the same exact
But you
price.
still have to go and get a pizza. And that's the thing. You can't, if you have a deep freezer,
Yeah, but only,
You
if
don't have to put
If you only
pants
have
on.
forks and scissors at home, it's easier to go to Little Caesars. Okay, Zach?
you don't got to
It's
put
pre-cut, pre-baked. Ken doesn't have to worry about it.
you don't got to put pants on to go to the deep freezer.
Oh, that's a good point.
Just saying.
Sounds like a murderer. Before we get into, so what we're going to do, we are going to rank these pizzas. It's 25. Not all 25. We're going to give our top 5 and bottom 5 with a few
Right.
awards in the middle.
Yeah.
But before we do that, I want to jump into a little bit about the history of frozen pizza, if I may.
Real quick, Joel, the origin before frozen pizza was ever invented, 1923, Clarence Birdseye created flash freezing, which then led to frozen pizza. So then we have...
So here's the thing, like pizza was actually not even that popular until around the 1950s. It was one of those things where Italian immigrants had come to the U.S., but it was really when, after World War II, that's when the pizza boom started happening and people started saying, oh, this is kind of interesting. In fact, one of the people here, when they went to get a loan for an Italian restaurant, they had to bake a pizza for the loan officer because he didn't know what it was, which is just weird to think about. And then in the 1950s, they started doing the freezer meals, which was a big hit, like the TV dinners and things like that. So in 1950, a man named Joseph Bucci in Philadelphia, he's the one who filed the first official patent for frozen pizza titled Method for Making Frozen Pizza. And basically what he said is you have to eliminate excess moisture because that will make everything soggy. So you had to put an edible sealing agent on the crust to prevent the tomato sauce from permeating the dough when it bakes.
Sounds delicious.
Yes. So there you go. You need to edible sealing agent is the trick.
So a couple of years after that, there was a musician named Emile DeSalvi, and he made this pizza. He called it Pizza Fro. Pizza-Fro, which I love. I wish that name was still available. And he sold 5 million pizzas. Yeah. This caught fire, basically, and newspaper food critics were so angry that frozen pizza was even considered to be a food.
Yes. And the thing about it was, though, like you could see ads for 33-cent frozen pizza in the early 1950s. Like they were starting to be more popular, but it also was localized until you get to Rose and Jim Totino.
Bless their hearts.
So the Totino's pizza, as you may have known, was actually the first one kind of mass-produced out of the gate in 1962. She's the one who actually had to bake a pizza for a loan officer when they started their Italian restaurant. But by 1970s, it became the country's top-selling frozen pizza, with their annual sales jumping from 10 million in 1970 to 50 million in 1974.
Unbelievable.
And it's amazing that all those pizzas they produced in the 70s are still on shelves today.
They haven't made a new pizza since.
When I was 17, I think I dreamed of going to a Totino's restaurant, not knowing that there actually was one back in the day.
Totino's Pizza has changed, though. Like from when I was a kid to now.
Well, they sold it in 1975 to Pillsbury.
Has it changed, or have you?
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah, so they sold their company for $20 million in 1975 to Pillsbury.
Yeah.
But she continued to work with them to perfect and I say perfect in quotes, the crispy crust recipe. And then in 1978, they became the first nationally distributed frozen pizza. So biggest seller ever.
Yeah, Totino's was the first one out of the gate. First mass producer out of the gate. But then you get, in 1966, the Simic brothers of Medford, Wisconsin, who had their bar, the Tombstone Tap, which was a bar right across the street from a cemetery, that they made these pizzas and were popular. And so they started doing these flash frozen pizzas.
That's where the name comes from.
Tombstone Pizza. So Tombstone Pizza, second one coming out. Then in 1970, Schwann's, which is a manufacturer, they purchased Tony's, which was in Salina, Kansas. So Tony's became a big seller in the 70s. Also, Tony's, Schwann also they expanded their business and they created Red Baron. So these pizzas...
Tony's made Red Baron?
Tony's... Schwann's made Tony's and Red Baron. Sure. So they're buying these other pizza manufacturing companies and then distributing them.
Wait, who did?
Schwann.
Oh, I just love hearing you say it.
Then in 1983, as a little side note here, the U.S. Department of Agriculture said they came down on these frozen pizza companies and said, hey, if you have these pizzas, cheese has to make up at least 12% of the ingredients. And no more than 50% of that amount can be imitation cheese. And the world said, back off.
What?
They said, we don't want your involvement here. We don't care if it's imitation. And so the U.S. Department of Agriculture backed down and said,
do we only have imitation cheese now? I mean, like,
if you notice,
what's changed?
If you notice, because, imitation cheese probably freezes much better.
Yeah.
So if you notice, some pizzas will say 100% real cheese. And I always thought that was weird. But it's because they're saying, no, we're putting real cheese on there instead of this imitation stuff. So look for that.
Jeez.
Not that it makes a difference when you're getting frozen pizza, I have to admit.
And it really was the 80s when frozen pizza just took off and became a billion-dollar industry.
Yes.
So I guess more people at home just want to eat TV dinners and whatnot.
Yeah. With their imitation cheese
grabbing
pizzas.
the Totino's from the 60s again. But then DiGiorno's like, hey, everyone, we're going to raise the bar. 1995, DiGiorno raise the bar and raise the crust, because they introduced rising crust in 1995. DiGiorno became a main line that you'll see in every grocery store.
Kraft is the one who owns DiGiorno, and so they added a food additives.
That sounds good.
They added introducing various food additives along with oils, yeast, and baking soda to strengthen the pizza's dough and help it stay hydrated.
Okay.
And the rising crust was born. They also invented vacuum sealing packaging to keep everything in there and not let oxygen get inside.
So they're basically saying they're bringing quality to the table, and they have become the #1 pizza seller ever since.
Really? They have, yeah. They became the top-selling frozen pizza brand in the U.S. and have been ever since. Even though Schwann's, once again, comes back with their own rising crust frozen pizza brand, Freshetta. And Kraft actually sued them, saying, no, the rising crust thing is our thing. And so the lawsuit was settled out of court in 2001.
Probably like pizza rolls were traded.
Yeah,
pizza rolls are so good. We're not talking about pizza rolls yet.
But they would win. It's just
pizza
not a
rolls.
contest.
They'd win.
Yeah.
So for more than 2 decades, DiGiorno has remained the country's top-selling frozen pizza brand with over $1 billion in annual sales. It's crazy when you think about it.
Which pizza do you guys generally have in your house? Just in your freezer?
If we have frozen?
Yeah.
We don't really have frozen pizza that often.
You just never have some just for like reserve?
sometimes, but yeah, I mean, we're definitely more, Tony's,
fresh pizza.
Tony's Red Baron, Totino's.
Yeah.
Those are kind of ones we usually have in there. Tombstone.
I think I may have only ever purchased a frozen pizza on purpose once, and I think it was a DiGiorno combination.
Why only once?
Because I don't
wait.
like frozen pizza.
Wait. You're telling me you've only purchased frozen pizza once?
Intentionally? Like once. Yeah. I don't like frozen. I don't like frozen pizza.
You did this challenge with us.
They're so easy.
Did this change your mind at all?
No.
Because you were really... Okay, so... like I said, we ranked these independently of one another.
Yeah.
So I put my scores in and I'm like, this is kind of... It's all pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
It's all, goodish. And so I was like, this is average. This is, this score. And Zach would come in and be like, a 0. That's a straight up 0.
I actually thought that I had really
value.
middling scores, and I was a little bit more...
Zach, it's surprising you say you don't really like frozen pizza because they're actually quite healthy. And I'm going to tell you how. So the USDA found that.
Why do I not believe you?
I'm going to go, no, USDA, Zach. They would never lie.
Yeah.
A government agency would never lie.
Never.
Okay? And they say a frozen pizza will give you 37% of your daily value of bone building calcium.
With the imitation cheese.
Yes. 30% of your satiating fiber. 35% of your muscle replenishing protein. Why do they have to add? Make them sound much better than they are. 58% of your recommended intake of lipocene.
That's an important thing. I guess. Lipo sounds fat to me.
It possesses anti-cancer benefits. So all these things from frozen pizza. Okay.
Healthy?
But also they did say that pizza ranks as top 3 leading contributors of sodium to the American diet.
Well, yeah.
And 34% of your daily value of heart-straining saturated fat. What?
What have you done to us, kids?
What have I done? We ate these together.
It was your idea. Kate, you didn't answer though. What pizzas do you have in your fridge?
Totino's.
Really?
In my freezer. Totino's.
Really?
I keep in my fridge. I like them nice and soggy. I don't even bake them.
From the time when I was a kid. I mean, even times when I remember back in the day when I was married, and I remember my spouse would leave town for a couple days to go see her sister, and she'd be like, and remember, we're on a budget, right? And that's what these pizzas are generally good for.
Totino's is a super budget.
Right. And she'd be like, hey, don't eat Totino's every night. And I'm like, but they're $1. And she'd be like, I'm worried about your sodium intake. And then if she'd call, I'd be like, I'd lie. And she'd be like, what did you have for dinner? Oh, I made something. I made something really good. With vegetables, and she's like, "Did you have a Totino's combination?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Did Totino's break up your marriage?
Worth it?
Oh, jeez.
Personal lives on Baconsale.
Wow.
But Totino's, because they are plate sized, they can fall right into your mouth from the plate. I've always liked Totino's from Red Baron and whatnot, but Totino's was always the number one choice.
Okay. And now the fun thing was too is we had kind of a list of ones that we wanted to make sure we hit. But then when we were going through, I literally walked through the aisle at Walmart and was just like, here's a pepperoni pizza I've never heard of. Let's grab that.
Right.
Yeah. Here's one that I haven't heard of. Let's get that. This is a diet one. Let's get that.
Were you surprised by how many there were?
There's a lot. We got 25. We probably still missed maybe, dozen more.
Yeah, I was going to say there's 10 to 15 more.
But we think we did our due diligence on the heavy hitters here.
Yeah.
So without further ado, we put all our scores together. And then we had our overall ranking where it averaged our scores. And then we had our ranking. And I have to admit, I was very surprised by how you guys tore everything I love down while I tried my hardest to build everything up.
Well, that's the thing is we can judge these against real pizza and say all of these are average or below. And so they only get 50% or below. But we do have to put them on a frozen pizza scale. And did you guys give any perfect scores to any of these pizzas or near perfect scores? On
the scale of a frozen pizza, yes.
Yeah, I as well. I did have to curve at one point.
Okay, makes sense.
But the thing is, yes, there were some that got a perfect score only because I'm like, this is what I expect a frozen pizza to taste like. Well, even that, it exceeds my expectations, I guess is what I'm going for there.
But if I'm giving let's say Little Caesars, it's like a good control, right? It's not a great pizza, but everybody's had it and we know. If I give Little Caesars a 10.
It's a tier 1.
If I give it Little Caesars a 10, I'm giving frozen pizza a 6 tops.
Really?
I like Little Caesars substantially more than any.
So if you made a frozen pizza and it tasted like a Little Caesars pizza, that would be the perfect frozen pizza.
It would be you know what, this is pretty good. And I don't like Caesars that much, but it's just there's something about it.
You should go to Little Caesars.
Better.
They're even better than Caesars.
Oh, Caesars? Caesars Palace?
No, but Zach, none of these. You're not craving any of these to go back and say, I'll have that pizza again. That was easy and tasty.
If I absolutely have to, I'll be like, oh wait, this one was good. How about it?
if you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
In the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You'll never survive.
All right, let's get to it then, gentlemen. Because we have our bottom 5. Let's start out with, we're going to go 5 worst and then go down to our number 1 worst, meaning the lowest.
From 5 to 1.
This is our bottom 5 of our 25. Now, coming in at number 5, Crav'n flavor.
Yep. Apostrophe.
Now,
Was he a Spider-Man villain?
yes, the hunter. This was one where
bowel hunter
they were
on this one.
they were trying to copy DiGiorno's Rising Crust,
Right.
But I have to say, it's not delivery; it's disgusting.
Oh, it's mean.
So this one's $6. You can get it at Target. Its origin is in Illinois. A lot of these came from Wisconsin, I know.
Yeah.
but
Midwest is a good place for pizza.
so give me your thoughts.
Wisconsin for artificial cheese, of course.
This is made 100% real cheese. It said that on there. No artificial flavors.
Here's the problem with this one. When we were cooking it and I brought it out of the oven, it looked amazing. Like I thought the cheese, they have cheese cooked on the crust. There's a great pepperoni spread. And I said, guys, this is going to be the best one of the night. Then we all ate it after it cooled down just a little bit. It's the worst one of the night that we had.
That night, yes. There were
There
worse
were bad nights. But that one, I thought, like, Zack was the first one to call this out. And we try not to talk about too much, but he's like, everything about this tastes artificial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and even, okay, so the Rising Crust, I'm not big on. Like, even DiGiorno.
On any of these.
On DiGiorno, I'm just, like, it's one of the things where they tout that, like, oh, Rising Crust, but it always just tastes a little weird.
Does it take away from the sauce? Like, there's too much bread compared?
There's so much bread, and it's very
Right.
thick, dense bread. It's not as chewy as like a regular pizzeria. This one had the thick denseness going on, and it was hard to taste anything else because the toppings and sauce were just meh.
It tastes like oil to me.
And the cheese,
Like just
you
grease.
mentioned the cheese on the crust, but the cheese on the pizza was like they sprinkled powdered Parmesan on top of it. It wasn't like a melty.
And that
good
should be
cheese.
good.
Should be,
But none of it tasted different. It just had one flat artificial texture.
I would like to read from my notes precisely. And I quote, I hate this pizza so much. Artificially funky, some weird preservative, good presentation, terrible taste. I could
Accurate.
not even finish a single slice of this pizza. It's awful.
I finished it.
I hated it.
I think I finished almost every slice. I think there's only one where
I finished this one too. I did not go back for a second slice.
No.
And by the way, we also did
This is terrible. I'm only going to finish this piece.
we did a cooler test too, where we'd wait maybe 20 minutes for
Yes,
these pizzas
and then,
to cool down,
go back.
and then try it and be like, some of them improved over time.
Well, because cold pizza is a thing. People eat cold pizza all the time.
Some were not good.
No.
This I don't know about your individual rankings. You guys must have had this one higher than me.
It was my 22nd, so it was right near the bottom.
Mine is my 24th.
Yeah, I scored this one average, and you guys scored it well below average.
That's what we
Because
do.
it is well below average.
I thought I called it forgettable. I think I was like, it's a wannabe.
And
DiGiorno.
most of the pizzas on this list are middling. They're really forgettable. They get
Yeah.
about 40 to 60% on a 100-point scale. Our fourth worst pizza on the list is Quest.
Now they call it like Quest Nutrition. It's supposed to be like super healthy.
Oh, and this is the Quest thin crust pizza with uncured pepperoni. Uncured pepperoni, that sounds so
Oh my
healthy.
gosh, they keep saying.
Did we ever find out what an uncured pepperoni
I
is?
found out.
Tell me, Joel.
It's
Basically, oh, no.
It's poison.
So here's the thing: is people believe that uncured meats are more healthful because it's uncured, meaning it hasn't been treated with something.
Oh, cure it with
but
everything,
it's still treated
please.
with something else. Like if it's not treated with chemicals, they treat it with like salts and flavorings to produce these nitrates in there. But there is no discernible scientific evidence to prove that cured meats are unhealthy. Is what this website I found online
That is
said.
such good news for me.
When we were cooking this one and we took it out of the oven, I was actually confused because you know how sometimes they come with like a little piece of paper on top of like the plastic wrap?
Yeah.
I was confused what was the paper and what was the pizza because this looked like a 2D printout of a burnt pizza to me.
Yeah. This is like I said, it's $7. You can get this one at Target. I hated the name. Quest Nutrition does not really speak pizza to me. The crust was terrible, and I felt like they were trying to overcompensate with the sauce.
There was a lot of sauce.
but it was overly seasoned. It was like they
Right.
were piling that on there, and it was just kind of mushy and not good.
Yeah, and this was very dehydrated. Like there were probably 8 pepperonis on the whole pizza.
Well, however, if you ate this whole pizza, it would only be 690 calories.
Give me double the calories for actual
Most
taste.
of these are well over that, well over 1,000.
And it's honestly not worth the $7. I scored this one really low in value.
We all scored pretty low on this one. All of us are right around the same range on this one.
Right.
But
This
not
is my personal 21st.
Yep,
For
same.
me, I felt like it just had that garbage saltine cracker crust. And honestly, I feel like it tasted like the cooked version of Lunchable pizza.
And it was gluten free,
Oh, yeah.
which was nice. In fact, it made me mourn for those who can't partake of the delicious gluten out there.
Yeah.
Because they have less options. There was maybe one gluten-free pizza that was actually quite tasty.
Well, and my wife was gluten-free for a long time. She's no longer gluten-free. She went to the witch doctor, actually. Do you know what he said? No, but so for a long time there, I was eating a lot of gluten-free pizzas. There are some bad ones out there. And it was just a thing where I didn't want to tell my wife how bad they were. But there are some out there that are tolerable and some that are even good. And we'll get to those.
That's a scale. For sure.
Yes.
Wow.
That's the sad thing is they're not going to be as good as regular pizza, but there are still good options out there.
Some can trick you.
And now a third on our worst list is Jack's.
Since 1960, from a small town in Wisconsin, this is the story of Jack's. This is actually manufactured by Nestle.
Is this just a standard pizza? There was no cauliflower or gluten-free on this one?
This was just the straight up normal crust, but it was literally cracker thin.
It was anti-gravity crust.
$2.50 for this pizza. You can get it at Walmart and Target. It is cheap.
This
pizza.
is our worst regular pizza because we're going to get into some specialties for two and
this
number
is a
one.
regular crust. I think 3 out of our bottom 5 are gluten-free.
This is our lowest scoring not gluten-free crust.
The pepperoni was like dehydrated and it definitely had the Slim Jim taste
it
to
tasted
it.
like a Slim Jim. The pepperoni was not good.
Horrible sauce, by the way. Like I said, the crust defies logic. I said that in my notes.
It was like, okay, so this is the one where we cooked it, and it was the time it said, at the temperature it said,
right,
and it came out, and it was like warped, like a record.
Yeah.
Like it was weird, and it was just like this crispy, cracker thin crust.
Which sometimes can work for pizzas.
But it was like ketchup on a cracker.
I actually wrote #grease on a cracker for my review there. Honestly, I'm still burping this pizza to this day. And I feel like taste-wise, this is the taste of a pizza-flavored Pringle, but somehow worse.
So I also feel like they're a little bit... I feel like a con man made this pizza, honestly. Because if you go to their website, I was like, okay, each one of these pizzas, I went to the website and looked up our story. I wanted to see where they were founded, how they came to be.
Right.
And they're like... from a small town, Wisconsin, this is the story of Jack's. And then nothing below it, just like a picture or two. And then at the bottom it says, but wait, who's Jack? Glad you asked. But that's not for us to answer. After all, when a hectic day calls for a good meal, you know Jack better than anyone.
Well, hold on. It didn't tell you anything.
No.
So like their copywriter just didn't show up and they're like, hey, add some words. No, just pictures. Pictures are fine.
It's just like, here's the story of Jack's. And it was like this one picture where it said, there was a newspaper clipping where it said like, local man ends up making frozen pizza for the world or something like that. I don't know.
Glad you asked.
Yeah, but they didn't answer it. We all ranked this one pretty low. I was a little higher than you guys. I was more forgiving, I think.
Yeah, this is my second to last.
This is my second to last as well. So kind of right where we put it.
And then we get our number 2, Cauliflower.
Fun name.
Oh, Joel, you mean the fastest growing pizza brand in America right now?
That's what they say.
So you're saying the guy who wrote the Jack's website also wrote this?
Probably.
Yeah.
So this is a cauliflower crust. This is $8. You can get this at Walmart and Smith's and Harmon's. 820 calories for a whole pizza.
Right. It's apparently healthy. I felt like the crust, it kind of tastes like old pumpkin seeds cooked in there.
No. Okay, so cauliflower gets a really bad rap.
Do you know why? Because it smells like a nursing home.
But there are some good ones. Like we didn't rank this one, but Milton's Pizza from Costco, it's a cauliflower crust. It's actually pretty good.
You can find good ones.
That's a good one.
But generally, if we put like a cauliflower crust one in the oven at the same time with a normal one, the smell would overwhelm both pizzas.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, it's very cauliflower forward,
yes,
as we said multiple times.
So is Baconsale.
But I didn't like the crust on this one. The sauce was almost non-existent.
Yeah, I would say no sauce, really.
The pepperoni was good.
And I'm not even entirely
pepperoni.
sure, was it actually a sauce or was it just a light spattering of tomato paste?
That might have been it.
It didn't really even feel like there was a sauce evenly spread at all.
Maybe to be more healthy, they were just going like, tomato spattering. But that's about it.
Yeah, it's on a technicality. Every once in a while, you'll get a bite of something that tastes like sauce.
And there was very little cheese here, too. Like, they were really emphasizing the crust.
And the cheese
it's
that
also
they had
what?
was awful.
It's like $7, right?
$8.
$8.
And
too much.
The thing is, I feel bad bashing on this one, though, because I went to the site, and it's like talking about this mom who was she was a mother of 2 boys who had celiac. She was just trying to find something that was healthy and gluten-free. And so she created her own business. And like, this is her thing where they're creating it, they're doing it. And it's this inspirational story. And then they have a stupid slogan like live life on the veg. And I'm like, okay, I was liking you for a bit there. And then you said that.
Baconsale pro tip. Don't start a business on pizza if you don't have taste buds.
Oh,
basically, it's kind of like how
disgusting.
everyone loves their mom's cooking and it's all acquired taste. They're like, you should try this. And it's like, this is that lady saying, my cooking's the best. I sell these things on Etsy.
She says cauliflower was born on a Pinterest fail. Really?
Makes sense.
That's what she said. So that wasn't a joke. That's literally what she said, Zach. But yeah, she said that the thing is she did this. She created her own company, and good on her. And if gluten-free is your only option, this is not the one to get. This is not the one to get.
Not.
I know there were other ones that ranked a little higher than this one, like Udi's was one.
We are pun lovers here on the show, so cauliflower should be awesome.
It's a fun name. I like it.
It's more like cauliflower.
I wanted to like the pizza more than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was our number 2.
Worst. Our number 1, the worst frozen pizza we had. And look, some of these tastes that we've talked about, maybe if you like really burnt pizza or if you like cauliflower or some gluten-free crust, maybe it's for you. But the number 1 is not for anyone. And apparently, it's real good.
Real Good Pizza Co.
We also like irony on Baconsale.
Yeah, that is the name of the company, Real Good Pizza Co.
$8. You can find it at Harmon's and Target and Walmart. A whole pizza is going to be about 1,300 calories. Even though it's a gluten-free cauliflower crust, it's still packed with calories.
I feel like the name is like that. Remember that rap thing? It works where like they force you to say something nice about it in the name. It's just not. It's like a trick.
It's like forced at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Does it taste good? It's real good.
Well, then that's what I was going to say. Like, again, when you come to these like quote unquote healthy pizzas, right? Okay, I get it for like the medical condition of not being able to eat gluten, but if you're trying to like cut down on calories or something, it's like you can get shot in the foot with a pistol or a shotgun. Either way, it's going to hurt.
No, the thing is, just because it's gluten-free doesn't mean it's healthy, and it doesn't mean it's low calorie. People always think it is.
The crust on this one, it was kind of like soggy cardboard, and it actually had that taste as well.
I said, I think we had 2 cauliflower crusts that night.
Yeah.
And I said, I hope this isn't worse. And then I said, quote, it's worse. It's so much worse. It's like Play-Doh.
Yeah, I put the
like
worst.
Play-Doh.
I hate it so much. I made it 2 bites in, and I couldn't do it. I threw it right in the garbage.
Mealy, mushy, yuck. The cheese is okay. That's what I wrote.
I wrote that this may be the worst thing I have ever eaten. Grainy, soggy, overly cauliflowery, but the pep wasn't bad.
Although, yeah, the pepperonis were quite thick.
The uncured pepperoni.
Yeah.
By the way, the crust is made with cauliflower, almonds, cheese, and egg.
You actually can't pick up a piece. You know, we could have cooked it.
Right.
We honestly cooked it a long time.
Your
and
fingers come through the cheese at the top.
Didn't we look at it and say, oh, it doesn't look done. We'll leave it in a little longer.
Yeah.
And then
we
left
kept
it
going, and
it just still mushy.
It never got the right coloring. It never became a pizza.
But guys, quote, unlike other pizzas, ours do not have any processed flour and are gluten-free and low sugar with only 14 grams net carbs and 18 grams protein.
Wait, what? Grammar police? Hold on. What?
Well, there's so many typos on the website. I was having a hard time.
So like poorly translated from another language.
But here's the other thing, guys, is they have a 100% love guarantee. If you are not satisfied, let us know and we'll offer a 100% refund.
Real good.
Oh, we need to contact them.
If you're
It's a
listening
little
right now,
late now.
We didn't finish the pizza. It's not like we ate the pizza.
It's
We're like,
still
we need to take
upstairs?
this back. Yeah.
That was the other thing. Every night when we'd have these pizzas, we'd get done.
We'd trade off.
We'd all feel like trash at this point because we're
Right.
eating pizza at like 10 at night.
Pizza's happening.
And then we're like, okay, who wants to take it home? And we'd all kind of stare at each other.
And sometimes it was a blessing.
Yes.
It's like we actually had 2 good pizzas out of the 3, and it's like, I'm going to take it this time. Joel, you can take it this time or whatnot. Zach always hated frozen pizza anyways.
There was one night I took them, and they were delicious.
There was one night when Kent tried to get me to take them, and I accidentally left them at his house.
Not happy. And I accidentally ate them the next day. But sometimes there were 2 out of 3 pizzas were bad, and it's like, I just wrapped these in foil. Please take them. Nope, it's your turn. I don't want them. Short straw time.
Near the end, we honestly were just like, toss them.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to eat this.
By the way, Real Good Pizza Co. does have a chicken crust, which I'm intrigued by. Instead of a cauliflower crust, it's chicken crust.
Try that, but if it's anything up to the quality standard of the rest of this pizza.
Well, if you remember, it was the crust that was truly bad. The cheese and sauce and toppings were okay. I liked the cheese and
I didn't. The pepperonis were the only thing I could eat. And honestly, I think we just pulled them off afterwards.
Oh, yeah. I like that pepperoni. The cheese is okay.
And it really just goes to show, and I think this one is proof, that pizza is like really just made by the crust. Like if you have to have that good base. Yeah. And you can make up for weaknesses elsewhere if you have a good crust.
I think I gave this one near about 12% out of 100. Joel, I think you were nicer. You may have given it like 30%.
No, you still were, like Zach gave almost a near 0 score to this one. I was like 10%.
0.9.
Yeah. Just run through our bottom 5 again. That's Crav'n Flavor, Quest, Jack's, Cauliflower, and Real Good Pizza Co. Now you may be wondering, well, the gluten-free ones, they're going to be worse. Why'd you include them? If we didn't include, I wanted to put this out there, if we didn't include gluten-free, our bottom 5 would be Lean Cuisine, Wild Mike's, Sam's Choice, Crav'n, and then Jack's would have been our worst rated one.
Yeah. So still bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we did 25 pizzas. We're not going to talk about 25 pizzas, but we're going to spend some time here in the middle talking about some awards we're going to be giving.
But wait, I have a song.
Oh, that's right.
Sometimes I take the mantle from Joel. Sometimes he does songs on food shows. Well, on these,
I do it on the menu challenges. You do it on like the
I do it on
challenges.
the challenges where we all feel sick afterwards.
Yes, that's true.
Except for Burger King.
Did you pre-record and whisper this one like you did your
No,
fries
so
one?
everyone go listen to the Fry Show because I did a version of Rebecca Black's Friday, and I did it before we recorded. Honestly, it feels a little insincere because it really should be live with you guys.
Back on episode 146, Lord of the Fries.
Exactly. And now I'm going to perform it live for you all.
Thank you for doing this. I appreciate you.
Here we go.
I'm so excited.
I knew where this is going.
Sadness is a frozen thing. Unwrap that plastic cling. I know that you're rushed to eat. Don't forget preheat. Open the oven to a burning ring of fire. The box said 17 minutes. It was such a liar. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire. The ring of fire. I burned my arms so bad. I really need to buy hot pads.
It's true. You do. Can we get him some?
Eating each bite brings such pain. Should have gone to a pizza chain.
Yes, you should.
I tried to eat this burning ring of fire. The rising crust, it tastes like a tire. And it burns my mouth. The ring of fire. The ring of fire. All right, that's all I'm doing.
Oh, I like it.
You know, it's true though, Kent.
What's true?
I'm saying
everything I said.
Everything
I know.
you said was true. No, but like when you go to a pizza place, you don't really get the experience of eating it too soon after it comes out of the oven and it burns the roof of your mouth and you can't taste anything else.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
But you also don't get the risk of like, am I going to burn the top of my mouth with like a chunk of plastic that I didn't pull off?
Yeah, they pull out the cardboard.
It's just so much easier to go and put pants on and go get a pizza from somewhere.
It is.
You can order them online these days.
There's some Little Caesars
Frozen
that have
pizzas?
a drive-through.
Not frozen pizzas, real pizzas that are cut.
Oh.
And they're ready for you just to eat.
I would drive.
Yeah, but Kent, if you're using your pants as the hot pad to get your pizza out,
It's true. I have a secondary pair
you
of pants
still have
for
the
that.
burn mark on your arm.
Just
I
drive.
do.
They have the pizza portal. You can do the pizza portal at this Little Caesars. You can put in your order and just grab it.
That
It's real
sounds
fast.
so fancy.
We're not talking about that. We already talked about the chain pizza.
I didn't.
Now it's time to give some awards.
Let's give some awards.
To
And
those
in the
make our
memoriam?
top 5 or a bottom 5.
Right. And we don't want to spend too much time on these because these were the middling pizzas.
And I have opinions.
Worse.
I want them to be heard.
Okay, Zach will be heard.
Right.
Zach, how about you start us off with your first award for our middle ground pizzas?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to open this up with, I think I disappointed you guys. I brought this pizza down a little bit. I'm going to open this with the Is This Spicy award, which goes to Tony's Pizza. I don't know.
At number 13.
I had it at 16 on my own personal list.
Oh, yeah. Overall.
Yeah,
ranking
overall,
at
it ended up 13. So I definitely brought this one down. I don't know what it was, but I just I bit into this and went, it's kind of spicy.
Hashtag Zack so white.
Stop.
Well, you don't like spice?
Oh, this
I
peanut butter jelly
like
sandwich
spice,
is
but I don't think I
spicy.
was expecting it.
See, I gave this one the fancy Totino's award. Because
It is like upgraded
It is like a
Totino's.
substantially better Totino's for double the price. It's only like $3, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Like Tony's is a great value, but you're right. It's just fine. Decent pepperoni spread though.
No, I gave this one much higher rankings than you two.
Yeah. Was this like in your top
It's
5 or
like
something?
a standard frozen pizza.
Because
for
you're a
me.
nice man, Joel.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And the price is great, right?
Oh, yeah.
That always helps. All right, my first award. This is the MCU of frozen pizzas.
Marvel
or the
Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, Marvel Cinematic Universe, which
it's-
you know I love so much.
Yes, that
Yeah.
sounds sarcastic.
So this is an insult.
And it goes
Here's the
to
wind up.
something that didn't make our top 5, DiGiorno.
It didn't make our top 5, Ken.
Look, we're all part of this. It's not just me.
It is. After putting these scores in, this one actually ranked at number 6.
You guys brought it down because I ranked this as my second highest.
I just don't like that rising crust as much. No, you and I ranked this the same. It's Ken who brought it down.
Ken brought this down.
Yeah, so
this is a Marvel movie.
Exactly. This is every bacon bit with a Marvel review. Like, for me, everything was dry. The sauce is too sweet. There's not enough cheese. It was just decent. I'd say in my notes, this is as average as you can get. And so, yes, this is the number 1 seller of frozen pizzas, but there's nothing special about it.
It didn't make our top 5.
I think it's delicious.
I'm throwing a curveball in here because I'm giving the Imposter Award to the DiGiorno Croissant Crust.
Wait a minute.
Which is one of the first ones we tried. You brought it in. I'm like, I don't usually like DiGiorno, but I really like this.
Right.
And then it was because it was a croissant crust. We're like, oh, we can't count that one. So we just ate, so technically we ate 26 pizzas. Is what I'm saying.
Honorable mention.
27 if you include the one Ken's mom brought.
You're right.
It's amazing what you can do when you just inject a bunch of butter into the crust.
Yeah. So it was like layers of crust. It was very flaky. It was very tasty. So I give that one an award because I enjoyed it.
I would definitely recommend it. For my next award, it was kind of confusion as far as the taste went. I gave it this is literally just seasoning award to the California Pizza Kitchen.
CPK.
Oh, come on.
I swear, you bit into it and it was like, what are you trying to
hide? It was all like sprinkled on the top on the California Pizza Kitchen. There was no flavor on the crust. It was like they were compensating.
But there was taste, though, which is better than most other pizzas.
Was there?
I
lost my taste buds.
It was almost fancy, that pizza tasted.
I didn't. Oh, it was because it had spices? Is that why you don't like it?
It was too spicy.
Too spicy.
No, it was like the sauce and the crust had no flavor, but they sprinkled all the Italian seasoning on the top.
Too spicy.
Of course, that was the same night we tried cauliflower and Real Good Pizza Co. So maybe that one got a little.
Actually, I remember that. I remember I was like, CPK, good job.
No,
it was comparison.
It was just counter programming. It was not.
We got pizza goggles that night.
Frozen pizza goggles.
Exactly. So my next award is one size fits all. And this is all, meaning everyone. This is for Totino's. Totino's, to me, is like the supreme commander of frozen pizzas. Like, they know how to make the crust that works out every time. Even if you kind of burn it.
It's consistent. You have to
it's always kind of the same.
My notes say, how can a crust be hard and chewy at the same time?
Yeah. It somehow was.
Yeah.
Is there sauce on the pizza? I can't say.
It's all one homogenous taste. That's the thing. I piggybacking on yours, I gave this the Taste Like Childhood Award because it does, every time I eat it, throw me back to like, oh yeah.
Right. And who doesn't love nostalgia? Right? Nostalgia's big right now. Eat some Totino's.
$1.50 nostalgia.
Exactly.
I had one of these every day after school for a while there. Like, both my brother and I.
Wait. So you haven't bought a frozen pizza, but you ate a lot.
Oh, I ate tons, and I think I might have burned out on Totino's as a kid.
Okay.
But he'd have a cheese, I'd have a combination, and we'd sit down and eat them. But I gave this what shape is this now? Because they were circles when I was a kid.
Right.
Now they're squares.
But who doesn't love little tiny square pepperonis?
The square pepperonis are adorable.
Sausages have those fennel seed in though.
I don't like those.
No.
So don't get a combination then.
Why?
Don't get a sausage.
I don't like fennel.
Because they'll get stuck right on the front of your teeth.
I just don't like the taste.
And someone's like, oh, did you have Totino's for dinner? It's like, yeah, I did.
Okay, before we go too far, I need to ask you a very important question.
Sure.
Totino's pizza rolls or bagel bites? What would you take?
I'd go bagel bites.
Save it for the Versus show.
I know.
We're no way we can
Pizza rolls all day.
Bagel bites. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I'm not kidding you. I am being honest right now.
Save it for our Versus show, which apparently needs to happen now. Yes. Add it to the list. All right. My next award is the Minky Couture Award. Do you guys know what Minky Couture is?
Wait, these are the really expensive but fancy blankets, right?
Yes, because this is the most expensive pizza we had, the Against the Grain.
Oh, yeah.
$12.50 for 11 pepperonis. Now, why did I give it Minky Couture? Because it's overly expensive, and there was a ton of cheese on it. A blanket of cheese. The cheese was as thick as the crust.
I've heard you say there's never such thing as too much cheese.
Well, no, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm just saying I was surprised. Maybe that's why it costs so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, $12.50 for 11 pepperonis. It's kind of disgusting. They did put cheese in the crust as well. Maybe that's right. Just so much cheese. This ranked number 18, though. This barely was out of our bottom 5. We did not like this one that much.
Wow. And for so much money.
Against the Grain. That's the one we're talking about.
See, because this one, I feel like this one priced itself like into a bracket, right? So it's like saying, hey, this is more expensive, so it must be good.
Right.
Therefore, I give it the Apple Product Award. Next up for my award, I gave this the Oops, I Forgot My Flavor, which goes to the Sam's Choice pizza.
Oh, yeah.
This is a pizza that looked amazing.
It looked like
a classic
presentation
pizza.
was
looked
good.
Great. And then you bit into it, and it was like, What? I don't taste anything. Is this air?
That was the one that said pepperoni pizza. It had like tomatoes on the top too.
Yeah. Oh, did it? I don't know. I like literally couldn't. So I just wrote in my notes, literally, this has no flavor.
Yeah. There's no sauce on it. It was like clumps of sauce.
Calories don't count if you don't remember eating it. So that's good, right? There's no calories in this pizza because it's so forgettable.
If you're going to get pizza from Sam's, just get it from the food court. Don't get the frozen pizza.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
My next award is for the realistic representation of Ninja Turtle pizza. We all used to watch the cartoon. Sorry, that was a long title, but we all used to watch the cartoon back in the day, right? And you'd see them eat pizza at the end of every episode, and you're like, Cowabunga, that looks so good. Like, I need to eat that right now. And I'm telling you right now, it's not very good.
Wild Mike's
Ultimate Pizza.
And it looks like it's this bright green box with this cool animation on it. You open it up and it's got pepper flakes and Italian seasoning.
It's so 90s.
It looks
painful.
cool.
It does look really cool. It's like Cool Spot and Yo Noid should be on the box as well.
There was no flavor. The sauce was like runny, watery.
And that was the worst part. Like, it actually fell through there was a definite layer between the cheese and crust because the sauce like just kind of seeped out.
Yeah.
And there was so much cheese.
They didn't have that sealant.
Which I don't love too much cheese. And this one kind of made it fall apart. Like, it was cool when you picked it up and the cheese was falling to the sides.
It looked like
but it would fall right off the slice.
Well, then I was like, oh, maybe the packets will help. So I sprinkled on some Italian seasoning, some pepper flakes, and it was still bleh.
Yeah.
This was so disappointing to me.
It really was.
I give this one the all flash and no substance award because I was like,
accurate.
Ooh, this is going to be great. And it was big and it looked like a huge pizza. And then just disappointing.
It's wild, though, apparently.
See, I gave this one the Random Small Town's Favorite Pizza Award. If you, like, visit a relative or something in a small town, they're like, we're going to take you out to pizza. It's the best. It's best around. They take you to Wild Mike's.
Now in Twin Falls, Idaho.
It is nasty. Yeah, so I say this is Magna's favorite pizza.
Nice.
So good.
Now, this one, I was going to say, I went from really big on Wild Mike's, but I'm going to bring it down out to Gluten-free Award.
Oh, boy.
And I gave this to Life Cuisine.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, it's only $4, and it's like a diet pizza, and it's a teeny baby pizza. And it's a cauliflower crust, but this was our highest ranking gluten-free pizza at number 15.
Which is why I give it the low bar award, because it was the best cauliflower crust, but that's not much to say.
But I thought this one was okay. And there are, like I said, there are good cauliflower crusts there. Get the Milton's pizza from Costco. That was actually one I would eat again.
No, this one was inoffensive, though. Like, it did have decent sauce with a decent crust, too.
Yeah.
So,
and there was a lot of sauce on it, which I think helped overcome the
and the pepperoni
crust.
wasn't very good, but those two things were. So
I wrote that it was just surprisingly good, but I think it's really helped by the fact that we had really bad cauliflower pizzas beforehand.
Yes. Yeah.
So if we had eaten this one first, we'd have thought it was disgusting.
Yeah.
So this next one, I don't know. I think I might need to be ashamed for because I scored this pizza much higher than you. The overall ranking, it came in at a 16, but I must have brought it up because I ranked this my 6th highest pizza for some reason. And this is the I Don't Think I Can Taste Anymore award, which goes to the Lean Cuisine pizza.
Ah, yes.
I don't know why everyone, like including Ken's mom, they were just bashing it. And I'm just sitting in the corner going, I kind of like this. I don't mind this. The texture is pretty decent.
Well, I think we were bashing it based on its presentation because this was the only pizza that is a microwave pizza.
Yeah. Yes, I actually gave this one the None in the Oven award because all the other pizzas, not all the other pizzas, but a lot of the other ones said like, oh, you can do it the oven this way or the microwave this way. And we're like, well, oven, of course. I mean, Totino's, you can cook that in the microwave.
No, you can't.
You can.
No, you shouldn't.
Well, shouldn't a different thing, but you can. This one literally said like only microwave instructions. Nothing about the oven.
This got my how is this not the worst award? Yeah. Because there's very little cheese, very little sauce. It's basically a pita bread. And you could almost eat it like a wrapped up pita.
Sure.
And have the toppings inside. It wasn't bad.
I think I may have skewed it a little bit with my scoring. I probably shouldn't have it as high as 6, but honestly, like when you eat it, you go, for what it is, as like a personal pizza, not bad.
And we said that night, it's 400 calories. And we said, if you're craving pizza and you're on a diet, Lean Cuisine might be the way to go because it's low calorie. It's this tiny little pizza. I don't know if it's going to fill you up, but it was good.
It was fine.
It would hit that craving.
Yeah. All right, my next award is Truth in Advertising. And it's great value.
Hey.
This is Walmart's specialty pizza. I thought there was a good amount of pepperoni. The cheese melts all over the pizza. I did think the rising crust ruined the experience, but the presentation was really nice. The sauce was okay. Like everything about this was average, but selling point, great value. It's $3.
Yeah.
And so it's like a okay pizza, but $3.
And it's ranked number 14 on our list. And I actually I gave this the Surprise Me with Flavor award.
Okay, yeah.
Because I was like, great value. Okay, whatever. And I didn't like the crust. It was a little too dense for me. but it had good flavor. More than I thought it would. So I was like, well. A $2 or $3 pizza, it actually impressed me.
My final award that I have to give, I call it the Hey There, Sweetie Award, goes to Market Pantry. For some reason, this sauce is the sweetest thing that I've had in a long time. I don't know that I liked it, but it was just like, whoa, this must just have straight up sugar in it.
Yeah, that was one of the last ones we ate, actually.
Yeah.
And it was I liked that one. I thought the crust was a thin crust. It was tasty. I went back for that one out of the two that we ate that night. And I would like more cheese on that one, though. But it was good.
In fact, that is also my final award. It was Target is better than Walmart award. And it's for Market Pantry. This was the same price as great value. Target also has Archer Farms, which I thought was nothing to write home about.
No.
But their Market Pantry pizza was good. I thought thin crust, not too crackery. I kind of like the sweet sauce. The pepperoni was not too salty.
Had a nice kick.
Yeah, had a nice kick. And I said, great for the price. And so if you're going to get a frozen pizza for $3, yeah, Tony's is always an option. But if it's between Walmart or Target, go for the Target one.
Great value was still good, though. All right. We are now ready to let you know our top 5 frozen pizzas as proven by science.
Science and mathematics.
Because once again, we tried these objectively. We put in our data separately. We combined our data, and we came up with these numbers, which surprised many of us, and mostly me.
I have to say, yeah, we were talking about it. We put all the scores in, and as usual, Joel was mad at Kent and I because we brought down his babies.
You jerks! All these standard pizzas, you guys are like, nope.
Some of them, they just didn't live up.
But let's start off with number 5, which is Newman's Own.
In crust, we trust.
This is $6. You can get it at Smith's and Target. This is the Paul Newman one where the 100% of the profits go to charity.
Don't you just feel good buying Newman's Own stuff?
Buy this pizza, you're like, I'm helping people.
You guys were talking about this for 5 minutes before I realized what you were saying. That it's on the box. That why are they talking about charity so much? I don't get it.
It's Newman's Own.
Paul Newman.
I had no idea.
Butch and Sundance.
Who's Paul Newman?
Oh,
Cool Hand Luke. What?
He's
What?
Doc.
I'm
Doc
joking.
from the Cars.
I'm joking.
Yeah, you know that.
From the Cars. That's what I said.
From Cars.
From Cars, yes.
The famous Lightning McQueen
Doc
movie.
Hudson. Yeah, that's right. So this one, Newman's Own, this had a good, solid flavor. Flat crust. I thought this cheese was maybe a little spotty, but this had a pleasant flavor. And like I said, proceeds go to charity. So I was like, I'm helping.
Isn't Newman's Own a whole line of sauces as well?
Yes.
He has a whole bunch of stuff.
So I thought the sauce was the best part of this pizza. I really liked the flavor of the sauce.
In fact, I thought the pepperoni kind of brought it down a bit. It was a little too peppery for the pepperoni.
Uncured pepperoni.
Oh, please cure it. Cure pepperoni. But yeah, you're right. The sauce was the best part. Cheese was too separated, but the crust, quite good. And this one's only about $6.
Yeah, decent value there.
By the way, on their website, quote, here's a fun fact. Not all pepperoni is made from real beef and pork. Here's another. Ours is. Okay, enough trivia. Time to enjoy our delicious uncured pepperoni pizza.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I don't think Paul Newman was a screenwriter.
No, I don't think so.
That's not very clever or fun. My personal ranking, I gave this the 4th highest. I really like this one.
This is my number 7.
Yeah, I think I ranked this one actually a little higher than you two, but barely. We both kind of got in there.
And our number 4th highest is Tombstone.
What's on your tombstone?
What I had to do to get this one. I had to claw tooth and nail to get this one in the top. And that
Because you wanted a name brand pizza up
well, no,
top?
that's the thing. It's like I rank this one very high because to me, Tombstone is kind of like, yeah, this tasted like what I want a frozen pizza to taste like.
Where did you rank this?
This was like my number 1.
What?
I'm pretty sure, based on my score.
I think
I'm looking
this is
at
your
here.
number 1, yeah.
Yeah, and then you guys were like I was pretty high, and then you guys had dropped a full point, and we're like, brr.
Yes, my number 10.
You guys weren't fans.
It's my 9th highest.
Yeah.
We already talked about this. It's founded in Medford, Wisconsin. These guys had a bar that was across the street from a cemetery, so they had the Tombstone Tap was the name of their bar. They started making pizzas. People liked it, and so they started freezing them, and this became one of the main players in there. Now owned by Nestle Foods, who makes and distributes these.
So the reason I brought this down, Joel, and I'm very sorry, but the cheese doesn't look like it was ever cheese in the first place.
This is probably that imitation cheese.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
And the pepperoni spread, very decent, but all the pepperoni was average tasting, which is better
I like
than
the
most pepperonis
this
on
has
the list.
a nice smoky flavor on the pepperoni. Like there's something to the pepperoni in here. I love the sauce.
See, I'm going to say that exact same thing. There's something to the pepperoni here.
Yeah.
See, I didn't like it.
But this is you didn't like it?
No, there's
something to it, but
there's
it's a bad
something to
thing.
It was too spicy for Zack.
Too spicy.
There's a little. Actually, funny. I wrote. I think this is a bit spicy.
Can I have a glass of milk with that?
No, I think this is a solid pizza. It's tasty.
Yes.
It's
And-
a little expensive.
And
It's a top 10 pizza.
it's a $4 pizza. How is that a little expensive?
A little expensive.
It's a $4 pizza. On average, these are like $5.
It's a little expensive. Listen, if the Totino scale is your only scale, then yeah, that should be number one.
That's value, people.
Man. By the way, and Ken, you brought this up, the marketing thing of what do you want on your tombstone? They have this like the Western campaign where the guy would be like about to get shot or hung or something like that. And they're like, and your last requests? All right, what do you want on your tombstone? He's like, pepperoni and peppers or something like that. Pepperoni and sausage or something like that. And they give him a pizza. I loved those commercials.
It was great. But if this was your last meal, a frozen pizza?
If it's Tombstone,
you've done bad things in your life.
You know me in themes, Kent. You know me in themes. I would love to have Tombstone pizza before I'm executed.
Oh, no.
Anyway, that I give this a really high score. Like this actually ended up being my highest score in many categories.
Okay.
And I didn't even think much of it until all of a sudden I saw how low your guys were.
Right.
So yeah, Tombstone. I'll sing its praises.
Our number 3 is a surprise one because it's real hipster, guys. It's Trader Joe's.
Yeah, Trader Joe's, which I never shop there. I always get it mixed up with like Whole Foods.
See, this tracks though, because I think Trader Joe's in general has a lot of good frozen meals.
Yeah.
So this one really, it was a surprise. It was a very pleasant night.
A little expensive though. It's $5, Zach.
I don't know. I literally have no idea. I was like, why did I put a little?
No, and this is one of those pizzas where it's like, we got to make a trip to go get a frozen pizza because how often you go to Trader Joe's or find a Trader Joe's.
And they do make a lot of their own proprietary products.
Yeah.
So this is like their brand you can only find in their store. Now, Kent, you gave this one the highest score of all of us. Zach, you gave us the lowest score of all of us.
Yeah, I gave this I had 7th overall.
See, I thought this one had a great pepperoni spread. I thought the taste was great. The cheese was wonderful.
I know they had like a cheddar on there.
Right.
It was kind of tasty.
Normally, I don't like tomatoey sauce, and this one leaned towards tomatoey.
Yeah.
Well, and this is what my highest score on crust, I believe it was, because I was like, I like the crust. It's flat.
It was really good.
It's got some good flavor. But they do put the pepperoni under the cheese, and so it kind of gets lost in the shuffle.
It's fun. You got to find it. It's a little treasure hunt.
I guess so.
I think that I knocked this one down because of the sauce, and I realized like sauce is important to me. I just thought the sauce was too bland, and it really was just like
very tomatoey.
Yeah, super. So that's why I ranked it low.
So basically, Kent is the one that pulled this one up.
But as an overall, like this is one that
it's a surprising find. I think
it's greater than the sum of its parts. Like
I was pleasantly surprised.
As you put it together, you go, "Oh no, this is very good. It's a good thing."
I'm hungry again, guys.
for frozen pizza.
Like honestly, yes. Every time we do these shows, I'm sick of it walking into it. And I walk in, I'm like, oh
no. But here's the thing: if you go to a Trader Joe's for any reason, pick up a pizza and give it a shot because how often are you going to be at Trader Joe's? Hipsters.
I think it's worth your time.
Coming in at number 2, it's Freshetta.
There's no question mark on that.
There is
an
a question
exclamation
mark.
Point.
Because once again, I think Ken scored this super high.
Number 2.
We were like, I don't know about this one.
What'd you guys give it?
It's my third highest.
I was going to say, I give it a middling score.
Zach and I are really close on frozen pizza taste.
Apparently.
We're close on everything. So but I do hate frozen pizza.
This was one where we had to leave it in the oven a little bit longer because it was like, it's still doughy. And then we cooked it a little longer and it was still doughy. And then we got it out after cooking it longer and it was still doughy.
And I think I might like doughy pizza.
See, I like doughy more than just the cardboardy crust because this was a rising crust pizza. This looks very similar to DiGiorno.
Yeah, they did get sued, remember?
Yeah, they did. But I do think it tastes better. I think the cheese is better. The pepperoni tastes better. I think it's hearty and tasty from top to bottom.
See, and on my notes, it says, I don't think this is as good as the other two, meaning DiGiorno and Great Value.
Right.
I tried that.
Oh, you didn't like this much as Great Value either?
That's the thing. I was so shocked to see it up there.
No, the sauce on this one is just dynamic. I love it. It complements everything else.
And this is made by Schwann's, who also makes Red Baron, so same company there. There is a thin crust option if that's your thing, and maybe I think I prefer the thinner crust.
See, I generally do, but for Freshetta, I'll do rising crust all day. And maybe it's because it's a little more doughy. I don't know.
This is near the beginning. I think you guys were just a little biased.
No, I ended up like a couple of people had asked me like how I mentioned this. They said, "How's your frozen pizza challenge?" Like my roommate, while he was folding my laundry, was like, "So how's it going?"
He was folding your laundry.
He did it again, by the way.
No,
yeah. So he's like, "What should you get?" And the first thing that came to my mind was honestly the Freshetta one was pretty good, and I think it's because it's a little bit of a surprise. It has that sort of thing about pizza that we like that maybe separates it from feeling at least texture wise like a frozen pizza, and I think that's why it rang true with me. All right, we're here. We're to the number 1 pizza, backed by the facts of science, and you knew this was coming all along. The obvious choice.
No, it's so not.
Palermo's frozen pizza.
Who?
Joel, can you give us the story behind Palermo's?
Palermo's. Here's how they're made or how I found the pizza.
How you found it?
I literally was walking through Walmart.
Remember, we were almost done with this challenge.
Yes. And so I was like, okay, what pizzas haven't we tried yet? And so I walked down the aisle and went, Palermo's, don't know what that is. I'll grab that.
By the way, not on our list.
Not on our original list. We didn't even know what this was. And we're like, okay, and we'll grab this one. And I'll grab this one. I grabbed I think I grabbed 5 pizzas that night to save them for later. But then Palermo's, you guys, I think you openly wept as you ate this pizza. You guys,
you're really probably right.
This score, my score is almost the exact same as Freschetta, where I'm like, that's good, but you guys are like, this is the Snyder cut of pizzas.
I love it already. Can I give you my notes?
Please.
Oh. Amazing presentation. So many
good.
pepperoni and great, not too peppery taste. So much good sauce. Great crust crunch.
No.
I'm very impressed.
No. See, mine says, I said the pizza looks good. It looks like a fresh pizzeria pizza. It's got a puffy crust with not much flavor. Sauce is okay. Toppings are fine. It's a very homogenous taste.
Why you got to be a hater?
What is wrong with homogeny?
Pizza.
Joel, Palermo's.
No,
Palermo's.
this is a middling pizza.
Palermo's.
Do you like your pizza to just fall apart so you can eat it in different pieces? You don't want it to be a unified
That
thing?
happened to our tombstone. Remember I broke it? Like I broke off a pieces of our tombstone pizza and we had to piece it back together in Kent's oven.
Oh, Palermo's is so good.
So Palermo's founders, Jack Felucia and his wife, Zena.
Is that who Jack is?
Jack. No, that's not
Who's Jack?
They immigrated to the U.S.
left.
and they settled in Wisconsin, Milwaukee again. This is a $5 pizza. You can get it at Sam's Club or Walmart. This is over 1,700 calories if you eat the whole pizza.
Oh, that's why I
Makes
like
sense.
it.
So good. So many
Started a
sodium.
pizzeria in 1969, and they got bought out, and they started making frozen pizza in 1979. Oh yes, they've been making pizza ever since. Actually, in March of 2007, Palermo filed a lawsuit against Trader Joe's.
Really?
Because they were using a pizza called Pizza Palermo. And so they actually they settled out of court.
Is it like a term?
Did they trade Bagel Bites for that one?
They may
Is that
have
how they
for that
settled?
one,
Sure.
yeah.
Oh man, Zach, is this your number one?
This is my number one overall.
Same.
And again, I think this comes back to me trying to get away from frozen pizza. I'm trying not to have frozen pizza, and this just felt like a regular piece of pizza you would get at a restaurant.
But compared to Little Caesars, Little Caesars being your standard, is this as good as Little Caesars?
It was definitely the closest to like I would do this on purpose standard.
Baconsale.
Yeah, different flavor, obviously. And I'm not saying Little Caesars is great pizza. I feel like this is maybe, if you're talking restaurants, this is like a place that serves
$5 pizza,
burgers, and chicken sandwiches and salads, and oh, by the way, pizzas are at the back of the menu.
but it tasted fresh.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, well,
Joel, I'm so sorry.
No, the thing is, I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Where did this rank for you?
You also don't like the thicker crusts, though. You had expressed like you don't like the rising crusts or the thicker, denser crusts.
Yeah, this was middling of the road for higher end. Like this was a good frozen pizza. But I'm definitely I like the more Red Baron, Tombstone,
I get it,
Tony's. Yeah. That's kind of my frozen pizza standard. And so this one was good, and I was actually very happy to find one that we liked after having a couple bad nights.
Were we just excited to almost be done? Is that why we love this one so much?
I don't know, but even your mom, Kent.
Hey, leave my mom out of this, Joel.
Your mom said that she's going to name her next child Palermo.
No, she loved it as well. You're right.
But I was just saying that we ate this Palermo's on the same night that we ate Lean Cuisine and Newman's Own. So it was a good
Newman's
night
Own
for
did
pizza
well.
It was a good
overall.
night.
Yeah.
So we weren't it wasn't totally
No, it wasn't by comparison.
skewed.
But I just felt like, honestly, when you guys started gushing over it in my notes, that's why I was kind of like, it's fine, it's good, but it's not number one. So I was surprised.
That's how I felt, but opposite when we were having Lean Cuisine, because I was like, I kind of like this. It's kind of good.
So there
man.
you go.
Palermo's.
Our top 5, once again.
Palermo's Pizza.
Palermo's.
Newman's Own, Tombstone, Trader Joe's, Freschetta, and Palermo's.
And our bottom 5, Crav'n, Quest, Jack's, Cauliflower, and Real Good.
real bad
Not real
pizza.
good.
So there you go. There is our top 5, bottom 5 frozen pizzas. We do this for you. We eat these weird things and put our bodies in danger for you. We hope you enjoy that. Let us know what kind of frozen pizzas you like. Let us know if you think we got our top 5 or bottom 5 wrong. Let us know if you've heard of Palermo's or any of the other ones that we're talking about.
I'm quite concerned because generally people are like, hey, you made me crave frozen pizza. and people may do that after this show. So
Which
we're
is
worried
fine.
about your sodium intake for the day.
Yes, but please be sodium responsibly.
Yes.
I mean, I had Wendy's like every day for a week after the Wendy's show. I am not gonna. Oh,
You didn't buy pizza before.
I'm definitely not now.
But let us
actually,
know.
I'm gonna go crazy on regular, real pizza from a restaurant.
Yeah. Let us know on Facebook. Let us know on Instagram. Let us know on Twitter. We want to hear your feedback on our rankings, and we will be posting our proprietary matrix on patreon.com/Baconsale so patrons can get a glimpse behind the bacon, as we call it.
I'm gonna buy some stock in Palermo's before we push this episode out.
Absolutely.
So I can,
Yeah,
12
it's
more
gonna
people may
skyrocket.
buy it.
Now that we made it number one, it's going to skyrocket. You guys don't understand the responsibility we have and the power we have.
Oh, no.
This is science. This is
Tombstone.
bacon science.
Yes, it is.
And speaking of patrons, we'd like to give some love to the I Am the Listener tier of patrons, which includes Terry Finlay, Sweet Bottom Cakes, Sean Sandquist, Plot Twist Media, Kyler Loves Baconsale, Jennifer Kukowski, Glow Clendaniel, Crew Dutler, Braden Winterton, Babs, Alicia Bass, and Adrian Gray. And we'd also like to give some love to our Bacon Council, which includes Stephen Ross, Ryan Farron, Matt's Chris Anderson, Jessica Terry, Hailstorm, Brian Madsen, and Reverse Listener. Thank you for being patrons.
Thank you so much.
Your
We love
patronage
you.
helps us keep doing what we're doing.
Thank you.
Eating frozen pizza. We're done with that, though.
I was like,
Let
pizza's
us know
happening.
And let us know if you have any other challenges for us.
like salad or broccoli.
Not cauliflower, please.
No more cauliflower.
No cauliflower.
But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on Twitter. You can find me performing with Quick Wits. They're performing every Saturday night at 9 o'clock p.m. on Facebook Live. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quick Wits Facebook page.
If you want to find me on Twitter and Instagram, it's at Kenny3DD. If you want to read my movie reviews, it's ShowtimeShowdown.com.
If you'd like to connect with me, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Tumbling Mustard. And I may tell the story of that one day. You can also follow Baconsale on all the social medias, like on Facebook, the Baconsale Facebook page, and make sure you follow at Baconsale on Twitter and Instagram. While you're doing that, stop by tpublic.com/Baconsale and get yourself some merch. I think we've got another t-shirt design in the works. Just saying. We should have another t-shirt drop here before too long. And you can also get yourself pillows and mugs and fun stuff like that. And as already mentioned, if you want to support the show further and have an opportunity to be invited to a Zoom virtual meeting with Baconsale, you can go to patreon.com/Baconsale and become a patron starting at just $3 a month.
So until next time, what do you want on your tombstone?
3,000 years ago, the people of Greece gathered in the Valley of Olympia for a foot race. The Olympics were born. For more than 1,000 years, the greatest athletes of the ancient days gathered every 4 years to compete in the games until Roman rule put an end to the glory.
Enthusiasm!
Pizza's happening.
I have a towel. What are we going to cut this with? And he's like, I got some scissors.
You really shouldn't record 30 minutes
No.
after eating oily food.
We may just be stupid.
You gotta get frozen pizzas and toilet paper.
This is mathematics and science, something we should not do on the show. Feels a little dangerous, but let's go for it.
You don't gotta put pants on to go to the deep freezer.
A government agency would never lie.
What?
What?
What have
What?
you done to us, kids?
I made something. I made something really good with vegetables.
Can't the Totinos break up your marriage?
Worth it.
Now,
Was he a Spider-Man villain?
Wisconsin for artificial cheese, of course.
oh,
It's,
this is terrible. I'm only going to finish this piece.
Honestly, I'm still burping this pizza to this day. Fun name.
Oh, Joel, you mean the fastest growing pizza brand in America right now?
That's what they say. Live life on the veg.
Does it taste good? It's real good.
Mealy, mushy yuck.
that this may be the worst thing I have ever eaten.
Yeah, but Ken, if you're using your pants as a hot pad to get your pizza out,
Oh, it's because it had spices? Is that why you
It
don't
was
like
too
it?
spicy.
hashtag Zack so white.
We got pizza goggles that night, but who doesn't love little tiny square pepperonis?
The square pepperonis are adorable.
Calories don't count if you don't remember eating it.
They take you to Wild Mike's. And
Now in
it's just
Twin Falls, Idaho.
Magna's favorite pizza.
Please cure it. Cure pepperoni.
It was too spicy for that.
Too spicy.
There's a little. Actually, funny. I wrote. I think this is a bit spicy.
It's a $4 pizza. How is that little expensive? You know me in themes. I would love to have Tombstone Pizza right
no.
before I'm executed.
Oh, no.
Pizza's happening.
I think you openly wept as you ate this pizza. This is the Snyder cut of pizzas.
Yeah. You've done it again. Zach, don't flush for a little. Zach, do you want me to wait for you? You're good. Don't talk in the bathroom. Pizza's happening.
Pizza's happening.